Want to 10x your growth? Discover how only 3 growth hacks in 10 days can change everything. Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. Today we are here with Costa with Smart Tender, shaking things up when it comes to the tendering process, but also in the energy industry where there's high level of complexity. His tool helps people figure out how to enter tenders in the most effective way, to manage some risks that can be very costly using AI and ensuring the highest possible success rate. To get more information about what Costa does, you can go below. To know more about his story, you can go back to the kickoff video to hear all about it. Before we get started, for those tuning in that want to do what we do here, we use the growth thinking design methodology. If you want to do what we're doing, Costa, welcome aboard. Hack number 2. How you doing, man?
Hi, good morning. All good here.
Awesome. So I'm super excited to hear about hack number 2. But before we always get started, we ask if there's been any updates on hack number 1. Hack 1 went very well, was a huge success, excellent signals. Any updates on hack number 1 before we jump into hack number 2?
Yeah, actually, we are contacting the leads, the qualified leads that came from the hack number 1. So we are starting the engagement with them. So some promising signs. Let's see how it develops. But it was an opportunity to have more qualified leads, which was a great hack.
Fantastic. Did you continue running the hack to get more into the pipeline, or did you just stop at the experiment and work on the leads that came in?
Yeah, at this stage, we stopped that hack. Okay. So we are focused on hack number 2 because now we will discuss what's happened and which idea came to us. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was a development. Okay, great. Yeah, because I usually recommend is like once you start a hack, consistency is key. So don't stop it. Like especially when you got the signals and the results that you saw, keep it going because it will just continue to compound. But I think you have something to share with us. So why don't you tell me about hack number 2, and then maybe you can talk about how that impacts hack number 1. So tell us what hack number 2 is. What were some of the signals, the results, and yeah, it sounds like there's a story. Go for it.
There is a story, there is a development. So actually, hack number 2 was about siphoning. So the opportunity to engage with qualified leads through sharing of information about new projects. So what it was actually is providing them with the top projects. Okay, so we identified a few top projects and showing them information about those top projects so they can have again an opportunity to quote more, to have visibility to more tenders. And together with this, the idea was about scarcity of time, because again, you have a lot of projects to quote. Do you have enough time to quote on those projects? That's where we are in with the value proposition. So we did our research and we tried to understand how to get those information initially for free, because there are few expensive databases that we can tap into it. But for the app and for the signaling, we scout for free opportunity. But what we did, we founded a platform that was able to provide us with some preliminary information on the project. We got those information, and then we published on our website. What we did is we put a counter with the value of some specific tenders. Then we put a button there with download the top 3 projects in Saudi. So to give the opportunity to give those information to the clients. So now I will tell a bit, because I'm not sure if that was maybe we could have provided some more information initially. Okay, but let's see, because we got some interesting signaling. And then what we did as the first hack, we published through an ads on LinkedIn, targeting salespeople in the UAE that have an EPC background, so specific for our main target clients. Impressions that were higher than the first hack. So the first hack we did about 5,500 with the same budget and same time. So just to compare with that. So the first hack we had 5,500 impressions. This time we had 6,800 impressions. So somehow we expanded, and at the same time the engagement rate, the click-through rate, was lower compared to the first time. So we had about 2% of click-through rate first hack. Now we have less than 1, 0.6. So mix signaling in the sense, so this is our analysis, not sure, but the signaling is there is an interest in having those information, and there are providers specialized in those type of information. So having qualified leads through the siphoning, I see it more as an how can I say, an hook to engage and to grab their attention more than getting qualified leads. Because also last time we got 5 qualified leads that came through. This time we didn't. So eventually the leads that they're coming through, this is our preliminary, but we will obviously continuing trying to understand what's going on. But our preliminary analysis is that there is a way to grab attention, and there is a way of funneling qualified leads. It seems that giving them an ROI is more effective than giving them information.
Well, definitely, because that's what's in it for them. So hack number 1 would definitely be more effective because it's about what's in it for them. So remember, we talked about, you show them the counter, which is the big picture. They want a piece of it. The ROI shows what's in it for them, and then the call to action to bring them in. I think what's important about the siphoning is actually tapping into your existing clients. Did you tap into your existing clients as well to see how they would respond to it?
Yeah, we tapped, and so we called the clients that we have, trying to give those information. And again, they have for those kind of information, they have a database that they're using, and they usually refer is a paying solution where they have a lot of information. So they see a lot of value of going in their database and see what's going on.
Yeah.
So they already have those kind of services. That was the feedback from our recruiters.
So what's your final conclusion on this hack? What came out of it for you?
So what came out is that it's a nice to have information. So we want to use it in terms of time scarcity. So I want to keep going with the siphoning, with doing them. So the value, how big is the pot, the buy, and I want to insist on the time scarcity factor. You don't have enough time to work on all of this. I'm not going to provide information. I want to show the general picture, and then this is what's in for you. So that's what
I think you need to combine the two. So I think, so if you notice when I asked about hack number 1, so one of the most important things is consistency. The reason being is like seasonality is a huge problem when it comes to data. So I know we did a small experiment, we got excellent signals, but every day will be different. One day can be more, one day can be a bit less. And there's all kinds of like variables that are uncontrollable, we don't know. So what we do know is that we need to run it for a period of time in order to actually see if those signals stick. So initial signals are great, but will they continue? So for example, when you compared the two, one had a higher CTA hit rate and one had a lower one. And that could be a seasonality thing. It could be nothing related to the offering because the time that it's been put for is not long enough. And so I highly encourage, remember that hack 1 and hack 2 are not competing with each other. In fact, they should be complementing one another. And if you recall in our very first call, we were talking about creating value at the beginning and value at the end of your proposition so that you have a more comprehensive value that you're creating for your clients. And the way it looks is at the front is, hey, there's all these tenders out there that are worth X amount, and we can help you do it. Take them through your process. And at the very end is help them put the proposal together through your AI, which then pretty well creates value from the beginning to the end for the organizations that you target. That being said, I think that we need to work on hack 2 a little bit more. I highly encourage you to continue with it and give it a bit more time. The reason being, there's a very good potential that you may be able to partner with some of these guys that have these databases. And even if they don't partner with you, you still can buy the data, because if the cost of buying the data is equivalent to 1 or 2 clients being closed because of it, then obviously the economics would show that it's probably better to buy the data than to partner with them, right? So in the only instance you would partner with them is if the cost of you acquiring that data is significantly higher, or they provide some strategic capabilities that would then enhance your ability to generate more revenue. For example, is you can collaborate with them to create a button next to the tender information, say, would you like to tender for this? And then you become the extended tool through your AI, your API, that enables people in their database to actually monetize on the information that they provided, right? So it's actually almost the other way around. But the point, though, is that we would need to know first, how does your audience respond to the tender information? Because once we have that information, it does a few things for you. One is you don't need them. That's number one. Number two is it allows you to generate revenue. But most important is that when you do go to partner and create potential collaboration with these guys, and you show them that, like, at the end of the day, it's I'm coming to you creating value, not the other way around. So it's not your data, it's I'm going to help you monetize your data, right? And you come up with a business model that enables them to make money in areas that they normally wouldn't have been able to do that. So people may pay for the data, and if they click, there's a fee, or it could be included at least one tender per month or two, whatever it is. I mean, you'll have to figure that out, but you need to go there ready to do it. So if they say no, you don't need them. You see what I mean? So hack number two, I think, is crucial. I think you need to do it again, let it run for a while. You need more data. We need to find out, it could be many things related, because we're dealing with a lot of variables, and we need to find out what they are. I know that's a very broad statement, but it could be as simple as maybe the target audience that you're after. Like, remember, right now is kind of mid-season for a lot of people in the sense of schooling. And so a lot of people, and we have the Ramadan season coming up. So people's energy and mindsets are shifting right now. So there's a seasonality element. Okay. So there could be a skew in the results that you've seen because of that. Now, we don't want to be victim to it, nor do we want to use it as an excuse, but we need the data to be able to show us this, right? Now, the fact that you have signals in both of the hacks is phenomenally a good thing. The fact that you had more visibility, but way less click through, my opinion at this point would be, I would challenge you to continue, because I believe it may be seasonal. And the only way to know that is to run it for a while, and you'll kind of see some changes and how to tweak it to deal with seasonality and other things that obviously come with it. That would be my suggestion.
No, thank you. Yeah, I would, because again, also here, the time is obviously a factor, and yes, as well as I want to keep pushing with both, because as well as a quality of input and output, it's giving as well more quality on those information provided to the client. So for sure, I see big value on both. So we will keep going with that. 100%.
Like I literally conceive the idea of you creating value at the very beginning, and you going to some of the providers, without us mentioning names, but I can see at least one of those providers that you mentioned, who probably is struggling to find further monetization with the data they have. So they've done an awesome job publishing, they have awesome data. What do we do next? And so you may be the fill in the blank for them, like what to do next to monetize, and you coming up with a monetization model that allows them to make more money or to add more value. So it's value, and it's either value or money, or value and money, as an equation. And I think that could be really prosperous to your growth on a huge exponential level. And you providing pre-qualification services, or as you called it, qualification agent, I think was the name. I think this is going to be a really crucial value add service that for you, it's going to make money, and you going to collaborate with these guys is going to be another piece of the puzzle that's going to add value to the database they have, right? Like, it's a very nice extension to what they have. You get what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm with you.
Done. Okay, awesome. Anything else you want to share?
A lot to process.
Yeah. No. Like I think, like, we break it down to just some simple points. Number one is continue with hack 1 and 2. Don't stop. Number 2 is look for patterns to identify seasonality or non-seasonal issues. That's number 2. Number 3 is keep in mind that your goal is either to take that data or acquire that data or partner with that data. Those are your 3 strategic options that you need to think about. And I would suggest working systematically exactly in that order for the reasons that I had explained to you. So those would be basically the 3 outcomes and suggestions that I would have in order to build on these 2. Because the wonderful thing about your 3 growth hacks that you're pursuing is they all work together. And this is what I call foundation growth hacks. And foundational growth hacks have this compounding power to them. When they work together, they accelerate the compounding effect of each one of them, as long as you're actively working with all three of them. And so that's why I think, and you'll need to also just, and you know this already, where each one of them fits. And I don't need to tell you, you know that already, how they actually feed into each other. So that, yeah, I think you're on track, man. You just need to keep going. Yeah, you're on track. You're on track. Awesome. So guys, okay, so that's Costa with Smart Tender. To know more about him, what he does, you can click below. If you want to know more about his story, go to the kickoff video, which is the first one as we tune out. If you want to do what we're doing here, use the growth thinking design methodology. That's what we do here. Costa, I'll see you in hack number 3.
Got it. Have a great day.